Hey, Quinn creators, welcome back to our How to Create Quinn Audio series. Today, we're talking about mastering, the step where you ensure your audio is within Quinn's loudness standard. If you have more audio engineering experience, you might know that there are additional technical adjustments that are typically included in this process. But for the purpose of getting started with Quinn, we can just focus on loudness. In previous videos, we learned how to adjust the loudness of individual clips and tracks, and how to balance the voice versus SFX versus ambience so they blend well together. Now we're looking at a final loudness adjustment across the entire project to make sure we're landing within Quinn's loudness standard. As a reminder, Quinn's loudness standard was created to ensure listeners can listen to multiple audios in a row and not need to crank the volume on their headphones or device up or down. We use the following tools to adjust and measure the loudness of your project. Limiter for adjusting the loudness. Loudness meter to measure loudness. In a previous video, we downloaded the free Julian loudness meter, and we'll be using that today. Step 1, mastering setup. In Audacity, open your project and select the effects button to the left of your screen. This opens your effects panel where you can add effects to the overall project from the mastering effects window toward the bottom. This is where you'll add your mastering tools. Step 2, we'll add our limiter. A limiter works similar to a compressor by raising the quiet parts, but instead of simply lowering the loud parts, it limits your audio from going beyond a set loudness level. In Audacity, add a limiter as an effect on your mastering effects track. Go to Add Effect, Audacity, Limiter. The two settings I'm going to focus on today are the threshold and the makeup target. We'll use the threshold if your audio is not loud enough, which is the most common case, and we'll use the makeup target if your audio is too loud. I'll circle back to how to adjust these in a minute, but to start, let's set both the threshold and the makeup target to -1 dB. You'll see some other settings here: knee width, look ahead, and release. On the screen are some default values we'd recommend for those for Quinn Audios. I'm not going to get into what these are for the purposes of this video, but feel free to schedule a one-on-one with me if you'd like to learn more. Step 3, measuring overall loudness. Now that your limiter is engaged and ready to adjust the overall loudness of your project, we'll use a loudness meter to measure how loud our project is. You've already downloaded the Julian loudness meter, so now we're going to add it as another effect under your limiter on the mastering effects track. Go to Add Effect, Audio Units, or VST, Julian loudness meter. With your loudness meter open, play back your project in full, making sure to pay attention to the second metric to the left of the plugin window labeled Integrated. This is a measure of the average loudness of your audio from the moment you start playback. After you've played back your audio in full, the integrated loudness should be anywhere between -15 LUFS and -20 LUFS to fall within Quinn's loudness standard. If your project is quieter than 20 LUFS, say it reads at -25 LUFS, lower your threshold by the number of LUFS that you are away from the standard. So if your reading is -25 LUFS, for example, you'd want to lower the threshold from -1 to -6 or so, because you're 5 LUFS away from being in range. If your project is louder than -15 LUFS, say it reads at -10 LUFS, lower the makeup target by the number of LUFS that you are away from the standard. So if your reading is -10, for example, you'd want to lower the makeup target from -1 to -6 or so, because again, you're 5 LUFS off. Final step, exporting your project. Once you've made your adjustments, play back your audio in full once more with just your loudness meter open to make sure it now reads between -15 to -20 LUFS. If it's in range, you're ready to export. At the top of your Audacity window, select File, Export Audio, then Export to Computer. Name your file, choose the location where you want your file to be exported, and select .mp3 or .m4a file format. Unless you've recorded your project using a stereo mic, a stereo pair of mics, or you have stereo sound effects in your project, choose a mono export of 44,100 sample rate. As we mentioned in previous videos, the sample rate determines the size of your exported audio file, and these settings are standard for streaming. Select the entire project for your export range and hit export. And just like that, you're ready to upload your Quinn audio to the Creator Portal. For a more in-depth dive into your project, schedule a one-on-one and we'll review your project in your DAW. Thanks for watching our How to Create Quinn Audio series. Talk soon.